Durdle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Durdle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and Durdle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we're playing some more Yurlok of Scorched Thrash. Looking at our opening hand, we do have some land search with the Root Weaver Druid, so that could be good. Get everybody kind of going along. We do have some removal, a lot of removal actually, because gotta deal with crew fix. So let's go ahead and keep it. So our commander is 1 black, red, green for a legendary 4/4 Vaishino Shaman. Vigilance. A player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life, and for 1 in tapping this commander, each player adds black, red, and green to their mana pool. We did win the die roll. We get Pierce Whim, some more removal. Okay, it's like the opposite of the last game. Let's go ahead and play a Forest and pass it off to our opponents. Our first opponent is Varchild, Betrayer of Kieldor. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Pretty sure it's a Y. 2 red for a legendary 3/3 Human Knight. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player creates that many 1/1 red survivor creature tokens. Survivors your opponents control can't block, and they can't attack you or planeswalker you control. And when Varchild leaves the battlefield, they gain control of all of the survivors. Into play, we have Volkut, the Molten Pinnacle for Varchild. Our next opponent is a partner pairing of Malcolm, Keen-Eyed Navigator, and Eligeth, Crossroads Augur. So I imagine it's going to be some flying at least. So Malcolm is 2 blue, legendary 2/2 Siren Pirate. Flying, whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponent, you create a treasure token for each opponent dealt damage. Partner. They play Jeweled Lotus on the first turn and Siren Storm Tamer. Oh my. They're off to the races, aren't they? Jeweled Lotus is being cracked. They're going to summon Malcolm. They do indeed. As for the second partner, Eligeth Crossroads Augur is 4 blue for legendary 5/6 Sphinx. Flying, if you would scry any number of cards, draw that many cards instead. Partner. And our last opponent is Imoti, Celebrant of Bounty. 3 green, blue, 3/1 Snake Druid, legendary of course. Spells you cast with converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade, and it itself has Cascade. Cascade's going to be a pain in the butt. Let's go ahead and play a Mountain. Nothing to do this turn. Let's pass it off. Varchild, Mountain into play, followed by Equipment, Mana Rock. Oh, not followed by anything. Alright. Over to the Mono Blue partners. We have Preordain. They'll scry 2, then draw a card. With their commander, they would have drawn 3 for blue. Some kind of, was it Ancestral Recall or is it Ancestral Visions? One of the two is the Power 9. We have attacks. Malcolm off into Varchild, Siren off into Imoti. Hey, we didn't get smacked for once. Damage is good against both opponents. 2 commander damage to Varchild down to 38. Imoti down to 39. Malcolm triggers, they get 2 treasure. Now I have a question. Imoti is a Naga Druid, but it looks like an Orochi from Kamigawa. Even has like bamboo. I mean, could still be from Tarkir. But anybody know about this? Or is everything a Naga now? Land into play, just tapping it down and passing it off for Imoti. Comes our turn, we get Cindervines. That's pretty good. I wanted to play Root Weaver Druid, but they'll be able to cast Eligeth over there on the Mono Blue side real quick if we do that. However, it does get everyone else into the game, so it may be worth a trade-off. Mounted into play. Let's cast Root Weaver. Everybody gets some stuff. Well, if they want to. So in case you're unfamiliar, Root Weaver Druid, 2 green for a 2/1 Elf Druid. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent may search the library for up to 3 basic land cards. They each put 1 of those cards onto the battlefield tapped under your control, and the rest onto the battlefield tapped under their control. Then each player who searched their library this way shuffles it. So we get their lands. Unfortunately, no black, which is problematic, but we do have Pierce Whim coming out, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. Alright, we got some mountains. We get an island. And an island. Okay, everybody's happy. Let's pass it off. Over to Varchild. Hopefully they don't have a Homeward Path being dropped this turn just to, you know, counteract the Root Weaver Druid. We're being nice, giving everyone lands. Don't hurt me. Mountain into play with Time Sifter. What does this do? 5. At the beginning of each upkeep, each player exiles top card of their library. The player who exiled the card with the highest converted mana cost takes an extra turn after this one. Oh dear God. If 2 or more players are tied for highest, tied players repeat this process until the tie is broken. Fierce Guardianship is being straight up countered. Nice. That coming out of the mono blue player, since they are the only person with a commander on the battlefield. I don't like the free spells, but that one just saved our butts. Imoti probably has all the big things. Over to the mono blue player. Phyrexian Metamorph coming down. Root Weaver Druid, I suppose. It is. Alright, so we get some lands out of our deck anyway. So I think we'll just get 2, because then we can keep it even with them more or less. Definitely need a swamp. Okay, first we have to choose a basic land to put into play under our opponent's control. Let's choose the mountain. We get the swamp, just as we need. Valkut the Molten Pinnacle gets to trigger twice. Let's see where they're going to send it. First at Malcolm, and then to the Siren Storm Tamer. Yeah, that works for me. By the way, that's a turn 3 Valkut activation 2 times. Root Weaver Druid is kind of funny. Alright, they're going to sacrifice the Storm Tamer. That means Valkut won't have a legal target, and they could counter the one targeting Malcolm. Yep, there it is. Countered. Good try, though, and it's free Lightning Bolt, so why not? Malcolm off into the Varchild player. Yeah, it seems legit. Damage is good. 4 commander, 36 life. Over to Imoti. Island into play, followed by Tatyova Benthic Druid. Imoti taps down the rest and passes it off. Comes our turn, we get Blood Gift Demon. Might be good layer. Let's pay a Ghost Quarter. We do still need double black. And we could cast our commander and wait on it. I think that might be what we're doing here. So let's go ahead, tap for some blue, some black, some red, and some green. Cast our commander, comes into play. Don't have mana to do anything else, unfortunately. Lots of green in our hand. So let's just pass it off. Over to Varchild, Mountain into play. Valkut will trigger, striking at Malcolm. Malcolm back to the command zone. Grip of Chaos. Whenever a spell or ability is put onto the stack, if it has a single target, reselect its target at random. Oh, that's not the best. Varchild tapping down the rest, so apparently it is very much a Chaos deck. To be fair, that might benefit us a little bit. It might. So let's see what's happening. Over on the mono blue side, Thrawn Dynamo coming down first. Followed by Bribery. Grip of Chaos is going to do something. The original target was Imoti. Okay, let's see where it goes. Looks like it's still going to be Imoti. Okay. They get Galta out of Imoti. Yeah, that's pretty good. And unfortunately, we don't have removal just yet. We need a second black source. Luckily, our commander can help with that, but we have to wait and see what happens. And Eligeth, Crossroads Augur, makes it to the battlefield. Let's check out some Sphinx art up in here. So, yeah, pretty epic like usual. Although, they are always kind of lounging, aren't they? Root Weaver Druid on the attack, off into Varchild. Yep, seems pretty legit. Chaos is not usually anyone's favorite kind of deck. Damage is good. Varchild takes 2. Over to Imoti, Forest into play, Tatyova triggers. 1 life, 1 card. Roiling Regrowth coming to the stack. They'll get the stack land and go get 2 more from their deck to the battlefield. 2 lands into play, Tatyova triggers twice. Unexpected results. Okay, a little bit more chaosy, but I do enjoy that card on occasion. They get Sifter Worm. Trample earns the battlefield scry 3, then reveal top card. Gain life equal to its converted mana cost. I do really like that card, and it's uncommon, so not too shabby. The revealed card was Riskar's Expertise, so they gain 6 life. Rolls over to our turn, we get Fertilid. Okay, so there's some ramp that doesn't target. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead, tap Ghost Quarter. Don't want to use it just yet on Valkut. Use Yurlok to cast Fertilid. And then we will do Pier's Whim, getting rid of the Grip of Chaos. I was wrong about the Fertilid targeting things. It totally targets. I forgot, it's one of the helper cards left over from the previous designs. So let's go ahead and choose foe for everybody. You know, except us. And we get any land, which is very nice. It's one of the reasons I like Pierre's Whim. So we need black, and we need green, and we need Woodland Cemetery. Seems like a good idea. Grip of Chaos down, Phyrexian Metamorph down. Almost forgot that was there. Rootweaver Druid, it was on their side of the battlefield. Pass the turn. Over to Varchild with Scrambleverse. For each non-land permanent, choose a player at random, then each player gains control of that permanent for which they were chosen. Untap those permanents. Dang it. That sucks. Okay, so we get Ghalta. The mono blue player gets Fertilid, Tatyova to Varchild, and then the Imoti player gets our Rootweaver Druid and Eligeth. Okay. That mostly worked out in our favor. Reliquary Tower into play. Tatyova will trigger for the Varchild player. Oh, I'm sorry. We also got Thrawn Dynamo. That's kind of ridiculous. Mikokoro, Center of the Sea, into play for the mono blue player. They're activating it. Each player gets to draw a card. We get Tybalt Rakish Instigator, mostly so our opponents can't gain life is why he's in there. There are 3 cards I could find that said opponents don't gain life instead of players, because occasionally I do like to gain life in this deck. Malcolm Keen-Eyed Navigator coming back down for that player. Over to Imoti, 9 cards in hand rather, after the draw step. And they have yet to summon their commander, so yeah, this could be super interesting, but in the bad kind of way. Wilderness Reclamation. At least it's not Seedborn Muse. Still not my favorite thing to see, though. Overwhelming Stampede. Yeah, we don't have anything for that, so that's gonna stink a bit. Well, I lied a little. Yurlok does... It is untapped because of Scrambleverse. So we do have potentially a kill spell. Let's see where all this is going first. Okay, all off into us. Yeah, okay. The pain. It's real. So let's respond. Gah. Death Sprout on the Sifter Worm. Go. It dies. What should we get? Probably looks like we need a Farce, so let's get that. Let's go to blocks. Unfortunately, we're going to be taking 12 in the face anyway because Eligeth flies. Not the best ever. Not the best. Go ahead and block the Weaver Druid. I don't know a dinosaur voice, so just... Okay, if we take 12, down to 28, 12 commander damage. Rootweaver back in our graveyard. End of turn, Wilderness Reclamation will trigger. Goody. We get Command Beacon. Nice. Probably gonna need that at some point. And Imoti quits the game. Hey, they took Ghalta. I don't know why Imoti quit. They seem to be in the best position. I'll check the chat in a minute, but let's get down to business here. I want to summon a Rakish Instigator if it taps my mountain. Oh yeah, sorry. Eligeth had to go back to the command zone. If that's the case, I kind of wish they had quit before smacking me for 12. Alright, our opponents can't gain life. Really don't care too much about Tybalt surviving at the moment, but we can get down to flyer, so that's fine. And the enchantment is gone. Yeah, so no need for Bane of Progress. Let's go ahead and do Bloodgift Demon. Bloodgift Demon, bringer of gifts. And let's play Cinder Vines, because why not? Oop, Fertilid's gonna go search them out of land. Alright. Did give them some green mana. And into play tapped. And I think we just, at this point, we just, yeah, pass it off. Unfortunately, we're not getting into too many of our draw effects. Varchild's turn. Evolving Wilds into play and cracked for that player. I was just reading the chat. Yeah, Yurlok's just earning that reputation already at tables for like going infinite and killing everybody. That's not what this deck does, but it's been... I think I said in the last video, I don't remember if I edited it in or out, but testing this deck was a giant pain in the butt. They are hitting our Rakish Instigator Tybalt over here. How rude. He was being so... instigative? Is that a word? Chandra Ablaze. Cinder Vines will trigger. 1 damage to them. So Chandra Ablaze, in case you're unfamiliar, Zendikar 1, by the way. 4 red for a legendary Planeswalker Chandra. Comes into play with 5 loyalty counters, +1 discard card if a red card is discarded this way, deals 4 damage to any target. -2, each player discards their hand and then draws 3 cards. -7, cast a number of red, instant, or sorcery cards from your graveyard without paying their mana cost. I actually had a 60 card deck, Casual Kitchen Table Magic, where this Planeswalker in particular was very effective. Discard a card, they're going to kill Yurlok. That's unfortunate. We'll put them back in the command zone. Thank you kindly. Varchild, Betrayer of Keldor, coming down to the battlefield. Alright, let's see if they're going to swing it anywhere next turn. So far, our guys are too big, but Chandra is repeatable removal, basically. They also discard a Fire Gambit to use that ability, by the way. Over to Mono Blue partners. 3 cards in hand after the draw. They have been getting pretty low there. They are, let's see, they do have Makokoro, so that's good. Ancient Tomb, that'll help them. They're still at a healthy life total. So, what do they have potentially in their deck that could help them? You know, besides a Cycryph. Mana Vault coming down, Cinder Vines will do its job. Also, the art on Cinder Vines is kind of pretty cool. I mean, you're whipping people with burning vines. 8 mana tapping for Eligeth, Crossroads Augur. That'll work out. I mean, it's a decent flyer for the price. And as long as you scry, like this card, Scour all possibilities. 1 blue sorcery, scry 2, then draw a card, and it has flashback. They will get to draw 3 cards. Cindervine, of course, does the burn. Malcolm off into the Varchild player. That works for me, although they're not off into Chandra. That means we'll have to take care of her, which means we'll leave ourselves open a bit. It's not the best. Damage is good. They're down to 20. 6 commander damage for Varchild. The Mono Blue player will make a treasure token. Second main, Jace Mirror Mage coming down. Cinder Vines, of course. So this is the one where if you kick it, it gets to make a copy of itself. It was in fact kicked, so it will trigger. So the kicked, I guess the clone that got kicked out of it. Anyway, they get to scry, so they'll get to do this twice. It's the +1 ability. They'll get to draw 4 cards this turn. That's pretty good synergy right there. Yep, both Jaces tick up for 1. Alright, that leaves us in a tough place. It really does. Bug Gift Demon will trigger on the upkeep. Let's target ourselves. We'll need the extra card draw. It's basically Phyrexian Arena. Massacre Girl and Blood Crypt. Massacre Girl would work right now. I do want to get rid of at least one of the Jaces, so that's something. Let's put Blood Crypt into play. We'll put it into play tap, though. Let's go to combat. Let's see. What do we want to hit here? I mean, I kind of want to hit Chandra Ablaze, but the other player just drew a bunch of cards, and they have a flyer. So I guess I'm hitting Chandra Ablaze. Alright. Should be down to 1. Yep. There it is. So do we want Massacre Girl now or Massacre Girl later? Because we do kind of still need some card draw going on here. So I think actually let's just go ahead and cycle the Barrier Breach. We haven't gotten to exile too many enchantments, so we get a land. That's not terribly helpful. I think that's it. Let's just pass it off. Wait one more turn before playing Massacre Girl. See if they put anything else onto the battlefield. Leaving ourselves open to Varchild specifically could be interesting. Getting Massacre Girl to just, you know, trigger for all those things, and we get one more card draw out of it. So as long as we're not hated off the table, I think this will be fine. Varchild with a Mountain into play, dealing 3 damage to Malcolm again. Malcolm into the bin. Will it go back to the command zone? It does. Chandra Blaze targeting our demon. That's a little bit unfortunate. Goblin Game got discarded for that. Alright, well, guess we should have played Massacre Girl. Now Vinroll's Disc coming down for the Varchild player. Okay, guess we won't necessarily have to. Hopefully that takes some pressure off of us. Gate to the Aether. 6. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player reveals the top card of their library. If it's an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card, that player may put it onto the battlefield. That's interesting. So, basically we get another draw anyway. Okay. I don't know why they would play that and the Nevi Disc, though. Varchild on the attack, off into us. We'll take 3. Nothing to be done about it. 3's good. Varchild will trigger. We get 3 1/1s that can't block. Over to the Mono Blue partner player. They do not pay to untap the Mana Vault. It deals 1 damage to them. Here comes some scry. They'll be drawing the cards instead of just scrying them away. And yet another scry, both Jaces doing the +1 ability. I don't remember covering the other ability, which is 0. Draw a card and reveal it. Remove any number of loyalty counters equal to the card's converted mana cost from Jace, Mirror Mage. That is the other ability. So in this deck, it's basically just the scry. Mystical Tutor, they do have to reveal it. Instant or sorcery to the top of their deck. So let's see what it is. It's a Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, that had to be coming eventually. Deliberate. Alright, so they will scry some more, draw a card, 3 more cards to their hand. And that also means Cyclonic Rift is going to go into their hand as well. There's Cyc Rift. Cindervines is going to trigger. Yeah, I don't think we have any viable responses. I don't want to sack Cindervines, and tapping Thrawn Dynamo won't do anything for us. Everything's back. Hey, but we have 5 cards in hand. Thrawn Dynamo coming back down for the mono blue player. It got bounced from our side of the field back to them. Mirage Mirror also coming down. Eligeth on the attack, off into the Varchild player. Works for me. 2 more hits from them and we're dead. Damage is good. 6 commander damage, down to 13 for Varchild. Comes our turn. We get Karavik the Merciless. Can we do that and Bane of Progress? That would be nice. Let's go ahead and play a Forest. No, unfortunately, we are 1 mana short. Story of my life. Oh well. Let's see. So, Bane of Progress and Yurlok. See how that goes. Could be good. Could also do Cindervines. That might also be something. Let's resummon Tybalt just to make sure nobody's going to gain life. I don't think anyone is, considering the colors at the table besides us. But a demon or a devil might also help out a little bit. So let's go ahead and make a devil. And then we will summon our Bane of Progress. Foil, you may discard an island card and another card rather than pay a spell's mana cost. Counter target spell. Well, that's a sad face. And then we'll play Cindervines. There we go. Not anything else to do, really. Let's pass it off. Over to Varchild. 6 cards in hand after the draw. They have 11 potential mana. We have not yet destroyed Valakut the Molten Pinnacle because they don't seem to be taking that out on us. I can live with that, although they did kill both of our creatures. But if they help us keep the mono blue player under control somehow, I am perfectly fine with letting that stay on the battlefield. There's the trigger. Mounted into play, bringing with it the lightning of Valakut. Teferi's Puzzle Blocks. Oh god. Okay, hold on. Do I want to keep this in play? At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player puts the cards in their hand on the bottom of their library in any order and draws that many cards. Kind of really want Karavik, though. So I guess we're going to let it go until the end of the mono blue player's turn and then blow it up. That way we get in the maximum amount of damage potentially and get Karavik. So that works out. Gate to Aether's coming back down, or is it Ether? You can let me know how to pronounce that in the comments. For reference also, the gate triggers at the upkeep. This triggers at the draw step, so the gate will get to go off first. So might even get something nifty out of it. Varchild taps down the rest of their mana and passes it off. Here are the triggers on the upkeep. Gate and Mana Vault. Let's see if they pay the 4 to untap the vault. Gate to Ether. Let's see. They reveal the top card, so we will get to see it. That's nice. Okay, what's this? Mnemonic Deluge. 6 blue, blue, blue. Exile target instant sorcery card from graveyard. Copy it 3 times. You may cast them without paying. Exile this. And this only references artifact, creature, enchantment, or land. Okay. So that's what they're going to possibly draw. Except we have Teferi's Puzzle Blocks. So they will get it, just not the stuff in their hand. That's problematic. So let's see what they have. A lot of stuff I'd rather they didn't, is the problem. Gilded Lotus coming down for them. Cindervines will do the thing. Sapphire Medallion. Original Jace Scries too. They'll get to draw 2 cards because of Eligeth. Mana Crypt coming down. I'm starting to have traumatic flashbacks. And Windfall. Dang. Wanted Karavik. That means we'll get 3 cards anyway. Oh well. Vandal Blast, Sever the Bloodline, and Acidic Slime. Yeah, not as good. Not as good. Mirage Mirror becomes a copy of the Sapphire Medallion till end of turn. High Tide. Their islands will tap for double mana. Having those traumatic flashbacks. Scour all possibilities. Flashback from the graveyard. Artificer's Assistant. When you would cast a historic spell, scry 1. They do have a lot of artifacts, it seems. Phantasmal Image. Okay, so I imagine the assistant. It is. Sky Diamond. Bunch of triggers on the stack. They get to scry, which essentially makes them draw cards. Cryptic Annelid. There's the battlefield. Scry 1, then scry 2, then scry 3. That's pretty good. 6 cards in hand there. Oh, going to be anyway. Thought Vessel coming down. Soul Ring coming down. Ugin's Insight. So another scry card. Scry X, where X is the highest converted mana cost among permanents you control, then draw 3 cards. So quick look over here. I think that's 6 if I'm not mistaken. So I get to draw 9 cards. Seagate Restoration. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Maybe they'll mill themselves out. Or play 6 more things. Tamio's Epiphany. Scry 4, then draw 2 cards. Chrome Mox coming down. Thought they were done. Chrome Mox enters the battlefield. They'll have to exile a non-artifact, non-land card from their hand for the imprint ability. They exile Thieving Skydiver. Serum Visions will trigger. They get to draw cards, scry 2. They are now in Volkut range to be shot. So, I hope they know what they're doing. Eligeth off into Tybalt. Hope they don't have a way to gain life. Tybalt down. That's a sadness. Okay, roll it over to our turn. Let's do the Gate to the Aether thing. See what we get off of that. But we would have to respond to destroy the Teferi's puzzle box. Vandal Blast could be very good here, and Sever the Bloodline might buy us a little bit of time. I'm kind of depending on Varchild to take them out, but you know, that's what it is. So I think that we will target the Teferi's puzzle box, get that out of the way. We get Evolution Charm. Well, it does recur a creature, so what can we do with that? I think Karavek, put them both in a bad position. Hopefully they don't murder us to death. Seems like an okay idea. Let's double check our mana. Should have enough here. Let's go for it. Return target creature card from a graveyard to your hand. And we get Karavek back. Let's hope they don't have counter magic. I imagine that they do. No, they don't. Karavek the Merciless into play. Pass it off. Over to Varchild. Let's see what they get off the gate. They get a Sad Robot. And that might be game for the mono blue player. They do get to put it in play, not cast it. Karavek will not trigger. There's Valgood's trigger. Where are they going to send it, though? They are sending it at the mono blue player. Mono blue player down. Nice deck, though, with all that scrying stuff. Really works out. Really shows off the power of Eligeth. Myriad Landscape into play tap for Varchild. Blasphemous Act. Karavek will trigger, and we get to kill our opponent before they can even do it. And we win the game. Good game to our opponents. I don't know why Imoti left earlier. It seems like they really were just doing really well. Chat didn't say anything, so I hope whatever it is nothing like important or an emergency. But yeah, good game to all of our opponents. Varchild with the Chaos. That was interesting and difficult. So I'm actually going to give it off to the Eligeth player because that deck was pretty good, even if I was having traumatic flashbacks. All right, and we got the most votes. I can appreciate that. Thank you, my competitors. All right, let's go take a look at the deck, see what we changed, and see what might still need to be changed. Okay, here's the deck. Didn't change too much, actually. Took out some of the political cards, but more importantly, put in things that exile. I did take out Ugin, though, and put it all in dust, because I do try to keep my decks more like a paper budget friendly, you know, such as they are these days. So I did take that out, put it all in dust. It essentially does the same thing. Doesn't exile, instead they sacrifice, so that does get around indestructible things, so that might also be good. As for the new additions, specifically the removal, I did do Sever the Bloodline, helps with token creatures, plus we have Flashback on it, which is always good. It's actually one of my more favorite removal spells, unless if it was instant, it'd be probably one of my favorites, actually. Deadly Rollick, it's instant, and it exiles a creature, and if we control our commander, it's free, and Yurlok is, you know, a basic part of the deck most of the time, although this one doesn't quite go into it as much as other decks. The only infinite combo that we kind of have in here is with the ley line to make our guys infinitely big, such as they are, and then burn out our opponents with mana burn. And that's all I really put in here. After the last series, I kind of got comboed out. So yeah, just the one. Other than that, I did add Chaos Warp. It's not an exiling effect per se, but does make it so most of the time you get rid of the problematic permanent, including Crewfix, God of Horizons. So as for the new additions to the deck, Leyline Tyrant, I saw this in a lot of lists, and I didn't really care much for them because I was trying to just play some normal-ish magic, I guess you could say. I don't have too many Punisher effects in the deck that punish people for not tapping the lands and stuff like that, although we'll get to that in a minute. So for this one, it stops you from losing red mana if you don't spend it, therefore you don't burn to Yurlok, and if this gets killed, you can pay all that red mana back and take revenge. I kind of like that part better, so I put it in the deck, gonna try it out, see what happens with that. As for the punishing, not playing lands and stuff, as far as that goes, the only thing I really have in here is Stoneshaker Shaman, new addition to the deck. As it says, at the beginning of each player's end step, that player sacrifices an untapped land. It's not terribly strong, they can just tap it in response to the trigger, but it keeps people from maybe saving mana for counter spells or having to sack some lands here and there. So it'll kind of work out, we'll see how it goes. Could probably put in something stronger, especially since it's kind of a one-of effect. Anyway, here's the deck. I hope you enjoyed the game. We did win that one more or less by getting lucky, which is unfortunate. This deck probably needs better sources of draw is what I can say here. We have ramp, we upgraded the removal, need to work on the draw. So I'll be doing that between this video and the next one. If you saw any cards that you want in paper, sealed product, or sleeves that you saw in this video, maybe inspired you to build something of your own, Yurlok, Eligeth, Varchild, Imoti, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra. Alright, until the next game for Yurlok, I'll see you then.